Hi everyone, it's Eli. You know how sometimes you stumble upon something truly game-changing in healthcare? Well, I found it. KinetiSense. This cutting-edge motion capture technology is transforming movement, assessment, and recovery. Imagine getting instant AI-driven insights without any wearables on your patient. That's right, no ping pong balls needed. Just pure, accurate data. Perfect for boosting athletic performance, pinpointing imbalances, and refining rehab. Top professionals worldwide trust KinetiSense to maximize productivity and results. Check out our partner page to learn more. Experience the revolution in movement. Welcome to Wrap It Up Sports Medicine and More, the podcast that gives you a viewpoint in sports medicine that can't be found anywhere else. I'm your host, Eli Hallak, and we have a fantastic show ahead of us today. So, let's get started. Welcome to Wrap It Up Sports Medicine and More. We are excited to be discussing everything with you today for this podcast episode from the California Athletic Trainers Association Annual Symposium in Anaheim, California. We've been working on this for the last year, hoping to be the first podcast on site, and we fortunately are. Very excited to have our guest today, and we're going to be talking about some of the big wins we've had in the California Athletic Trainers Association over the last couple of years, what direction we hope to go, how you can help, how I can help, and where the future of athletic training is in the state. And with that, I would like to welcome to our podcast today, Governmental Affairs Committee Chair, Matt Quijano, the athletic trainer at Arroyo Grande High School. How you doing, Matt?
Doing well, thanks, Eli. How are you doing today?
Oh, peachy, buddy. Always fun to see colleagues and talk with them and catch up and see what's happening in our industry, right?
Yeah, it's always fun to be catching up with everybody. That's, I think, one of the best things about symposium time is reconnecting with your peers and networking and bouncing ideas around. That's usually when the best learning goes.
Yeah, that and about let's see, symposium ends at about 9, so about 9:05 at a specific location somewhere on site too. That's where some of the
Typically, yes.
best ideas come around.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for being part of this podcast today, this episode. Obviously, I am a true believer in what we do, who we are, what the CATA can offer, and that's really what we want to talk about today. Because under the leadership of our past president, who we lost this weekend, God love him, Kai Kugler. I got to take a minute there. That's going to hit me.
Yeah, that one hurts.
That one hurts. That one hurts a lot. We had some really good ideas. He took us in a little bit of a different direction. Instead of thinking us, we, I, we kind of looked at the scope of our profession and tried to throw our weight in to help in other ways. And that really led to some big wins, I think. And when I'm saying big wins, I'm talking about legislation in California to save and protect student athletes, athletes in general, which we had never really gone that direction before. So under Kai, I think that was a phenomenal idea and direction to go. Can you talk about some of the wins we had in the last couple of years and how important they are to our profession?
Yeah, and I also want to fact check you here a little bit.
Please do.
It wasn't just Kai's idea. It was actually the previous athletic trainer from Caltech and Nick Harvey.
Nick
He was a,
Harvey, of course.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He actually was more of one of the ones that said, "Hey, look, like we've tried to do this route for so long. Let's take a different approach." And Kai was all on board. So it was the two of them that really took it.
Well,
Um,
definite shout out to Nick Harvey over there at Caltech. Thanks, Nick. And I'm sorry about that. That's my bad.
Yeah, in 2024, we all know about AB 796, right? That was the big push that we started with licensure and through the legislative process, which can get muddy at times. We ended up with a title protection bill. That bill really what it does is protect the name of athletic trainer and the acronyms that we use at the end of our name, or the initials, if you will. And it doesn't let just anybody use the title. But while doing that, it also helps to start protect the concept of athletic training, if you will. So just because you take a different name and say, well, fine, I'm now a trainer, which I know is a horrible word to use on some of these podcasts, but it doesn't let them do that, because if you are acting as an athletic trainer, regardless of what you call yourself, that's still not within the code now, or statute. So that's one of the bigger things that we really got. Big thing that we've also done is we've kind of changed the perception of the CATA in the capital. And what I mean by that is we always came in and said, "Hey, this is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want." And everybody goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But we weren't really much of a listener. We were kind of bull in a china shop. We wanted to move. We wanted to do this. Like you said, under our last tutelage here, we kind of became the, "Hey, we got a problem and we kind of want to solve it. How can we better do that?" So when we changed that and we said, "Hey, we want to help. Like, we want to protect the public. We want to," and we changed that tone a little bit. It was a very small change in the wording, but it had a big impact. And so that was kind of the bigger wins. Now that we're seen more friendly and those types of things as well, people are continuing and have come to us a bit more for, "Hey, we have this idea. What do you guys think?" And so we're out there and we're doing a lot more than we've been able to in the past. One, because we're not pushing a bill ourselves directly, but two, they see the value, and it's there.
I know I was really impressed with how things started to move. It really started to loosen things up, like you kind of alluded to, and shake up when we stopped the bull in the china shop, which I kind of laugh at. My wife calls me that all the time. But so many of us in the profession, we drop our heads and go. We
Yep.
just get it done.
Yeah.
And we probably don't listen as often as we should. We just want to get the job done. And that's just kind of the who we are and how we do things. Yeah, I could see how sitting back, taking a step back, how can we help? What can we
Exactly.
do? And
Along
that
with that,
really seemed to make a big difference.
it did. Yeah, it really did. And the other thing that we're doing as well is we want to be able to care for patients to the highest of their training. So if it's a chiropractor who comes and says, "Hey, we want to be able to do this." Well, okay, are you trained to do that? Do you have some formal education behind this? Great, then yeah, we agree. You should be able to do that, whatever it may be. Now, if you say, "Well, I want to be a chiropractor under my athletic training license with no training," well, yeah, we're not going to agree to that. We want some barriers there, but for the most part, if you are educated to do it, you should be able to.
And in big scope of things, and I say this a lot as a preceptor to my students, it's one big sandbox. We all got to play together. We all have our place in the sandbox of healthcare. We need to work together really to take care of the patient. Doesn't matter how you do it, what side of the sandbox you're on playing from it, whether you're an athletic trainer, MD, DO, DC, PT, PA, NP, whatever, as long as you're staying in the appropriate lane and under your scope of practice, God, I wish, as long as you're taking care of that person, that's all that truly matters, because we're all focused on our patients. Doesn't matter who it is, what we are, that's what it comes down to, the patient care.
We want to take care of our patients, but we also want to protect our patients from those bad actors and those who aren't trained to do that. So yeah, absolutely.
And I know in the high school setting, you and I both have come across many a person, unfortunately. A little less often at the collegiate level, a little less often at the professional level. But
Yep.
there are some interesting characters out there trying to take advantage of saying, I'll never forget, I'm an athletic trainer. And I looked at, we were playing in a game and introduced myself, and he said he was an athletic trainer. And I looked at him, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up.
Hmm.
I looked at him, okay, so you're an ATC. Huh? Like, you're BOC certified? What? You're an athletic trainer? Yes. So, yeah, he was one of those guys that took a weekend course to become a personal trainer, and he
Mm-hmm.
knew how to take. So, the local high school at that point hired him as their athletic trainer. And when they had later in the game someone go down with a neck injury, he didn't even step on the field. I'll never forget that. The refs
Yeah.
actually waved us
Thank
on, and
goodness he didn't.
oh God, yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah.
I would have been scared all the heck. I probably would have, knowing me, I would have tackled the guy so he didn't touch him. But there are some characters out there that are just looking to make a buck, and I mean, it's nice to get a paycheck, but I don't want to do it at the
Expense of
detriment
it. Yeah.
of a young man, young woman, whomever is in front of me. So,
100%. Yeah. And I think that's one of the unfortunate parts, right? Is the athletic trainer is often just still seen as the guy who tapes or hands out water. And you're like, no, we are people trained to be medical professionals. Just because they can tape does not mean they're an athletic trainer. Please, please, please get that out of your head, HR, whoever you are.
oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, fun to tape, but we are so much more than that.
So
I
much more.
I hate taping. I mean, I don't mind it. I've loved it. I've done probably 30 gazillion different tape jobs. I want to use my brain. I want to use my hands. I want to prove my knowledge to
Right.
myself and by taking care of somebody. So if we could break that thought
Stigma.
process, that
Yeah.
that stigma, yes, that's the word. Thank you so much. Of yeah, all they do is tape.
Yep.
Oh
One of
God,
the
I would
hardest
love
things
that.
to break.
Yeah, yep. Well, at the same time, PTs, my wife's a physical therapist, neurospecialist by background. Somebody here, she's a PT. She's, oh, can I get a massage? Yeah, no, if she was your PT back in the day, it was because you had a stroke, you got shot, you had a
Right?
spinal cord injury. Yeah, she doesn't do massages.
Yeah.
We all have our stigma to break, but boy, I would love to break that taping one. Oh, God,
Yep.
I tell you. So, AB 796, which we've talked
Mm,
about a little bit, that
yep.
was our big break where we finally got a little love from the state, title
Right.
protection for the first time.
Yep.
I know it's been used in a few different situations where we've come across athletic trainers, quote unquote, and they're not. So
Right.
when we come across those people that are not following this law, what should we do as athletic trainers?
So I want to back up a second here as well.
Please do, please
Now,
do.
now that it has passed, it is not AB 796. That was its bill name. In business code
That's
now,
right. I
it is
apologize.
Business and Professions Code 2529.8.1. So if you need the language that passed, that's what you should look for, not AB 796, because you may get an older version that was going through its regulatory processes. So AB is now California BNP Code 2529.8.1. Okay, so that's the best way to find it.
Thank you very much. That's right.
Yeah,
Once it flips over as a law, the number changes. That's right.
the number always changes. Yep. Now, if you find somebody who's breaking that, the only thing that we can really do is tattletale. We want to gather the information through the CATA website, which then goes to our COPE committee. They will see what you have presented to us as a potential cause here or potential issue, and we will review it. We will notify individuals, say, hey, we have been brought to our attention that you are serving as an athletic trainer, even though you are not certified. Please stop because we have no authority to make you stop. So we can't really aggressively go at anything like that. That's not our role as the CATA. If we do find something that may be a little bit more egregious, we will send it off to the NATA and the BOC as well for their stronger ability to investigate. Even if you report to us, report it to them as well. There's no problem to you filing a complaint with the NATA and the BOC COPE committees as well, because that's their role on top of us as well. So once we receive those complaints and everything, we will also be notifying the employers saying, hey, just so you know, there's this business code. This is what it states. If you feel like you're in compliance, please let us know and we'll go from there. And what that's going to help us do is gather cause or harm more specifically. The more harm cases that we aware of and we know, the more we can go to the legislators and our representatives and say, hey, look, this really is a problem. And that's the biggest issue that we don't have a solution for now is the enforcement side. There is nowhere for us to directly report to the state. There is no board or anything. So it has to come through us, and then we have to delegate it out.
Gotcha. Now, you did bring up a committee that not everybody knows, and some of our listeners may not understand. You said, I believe, the COPE committee, COPE, right? Can you give us a little background on what that committee is?
So that committee is the Committee on Professional Ethics. This is modeled after the NATA model, where we take in complaints of people misusing titles, misusing certifications, providing harmful care, so deliberately or accidentally or whatever it may be, but places where you caused harm, and we can then investigate minimally in the state, but at the national level, we can do a bit better job of investigating. So that's the COPE committee that is within the CATA.
And then I'm looking here on my screen as a professional athletic trainer myself, but say I'm a parent, and I am, and I have a student at a high school or a club team or a collegiate setting playing somewhere, and I feel or I found out that this athletic trainer taking care of my child is not certified. It looks like I just go to the CATA website, which for those of you who are interested is www.ca-at.org. And they've got this real simple form on the public dropdown. And it says under the public dropdown, really file a report. And
Yep.
it is a simple form that you would just pop in the information and then correct me if I'm wrong. Please, please always do. The COPE committee would take the form and go from there.
100%. Yeah. The more people that bring these to our attention, the better. It doesn't have to be just athletic trainers. If you are a parent, an athlete, even a coach, whatever it may be, please let us know because we need that information. But yes, that's exactly how you would go about it.
And this really comes down to protecting the health and safety of anyone participating in some type of activity that's overseen by
100%.
an athletic trainer or should be overseen by the athletic
Should
trainer.
be, yes.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And they've made that so simple. I mean, obviously, we don't want to see that often. We prefer to see athletic trainers in those roles, but I know for certain three or four this year that I've discussed with colleagues, and they've asked me point blank, how do we report?
Right.
So people are out there pretending
Yep.
to be
It's the
anything.
Wild West of California,
I'm
we're
telling
the
you.
last
What?
state, so
Yeah, that's
we,
true.
we got we got them
We are number one in reverse.
in
So
reverse order.
in reverse order, unfortunately. We're getting closer. We're getting closer.
We're working on it.
Yep, we're trying. And the big push is going to come from the California Athletic Trainers Association, the board, the committees, and really the rank and file. I mean, and we'll get to that in just a little bit, but it really comes down to us as professionals to enjoy what we do, love what we do, want to protect what we do, and want to see a good future. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, buddy. We've been talking a little bit about the implementation and how it's really rolled out. AB 796, which is now Business Code 2529.8.1, which I will now memorize because
Yeah,
I don't like
it's a
being wrong.
mouthful.
It is a mouthful. Oh boy. This is now law. And I know it has to be in law on the books for quite some time. We're hoping maybe in the future to roll that into something else, ideally licensure
I
in
mean,
the
that's always
future.
the gold. Yeah, the
That
golden goal there.
Yeah, that is the gold standard. That's the certificate we want. There are others, registration, like nursing and other professions. Looking over the next couple years, we'll get to licensure. But what are some of the things that the CATA would like to do to make healthcare safer, make athletics safer? What are some things we're looking at getting involved with?
So, like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to be friends, right? So we're going, and anybody who is looking at their established scope of practice and trying to remove maybe some limitations or something of that nature that may not properly fit anymore due to changes in education or something of that nature. We're looking to show that we are here for patient protection, not just in athletic training, but in any medical profession in the state. That's where we're going to start to really try to show, like, hey, we're here to play nicely in the sandbox, as you had said. There are also some other that we're looking into as far as getting athletic training into statute. So that could be, obviously the long goal is licensure, but it could be taking a step to say, hey, look, an athletic trainer is now able to be hired as a medical professional, is able to, not that it should, not that it's required or anything of that nature. So that way we can start to get into statute a little bit. Every year I work with our lobbyists and we get a list of all the bills that have been introduced. And we say, hey, look, these are some that are dealing with patient protection. These are something that has to do with heat illness or AED access or, just a wide variety of things that all come down to the same thing, which is patient protection and the health and safety of our patients. So that's really where we're focusing right now due to our recent passing of AB 796, which is now 2529.8.1. Yep, see, there's the mouthful again for you.
There we go. You got it right, though. That's all that matters.
So yeah,
And
that's kind of where we're headed.
that sounds great because that builds cooperation, better networking. They realize that it's not just about us; it's about healthcare, and that's how we see it. And in the long run, we're building those relationships that's going to help us. Politics. I hate to say politics. Politics. Scratch my back, I scratch yours, but in a way that helps us both get to our end goal, taking care of patients. And with that, you actually mentioned something real quick. Like to definitely give some props and some shout outs to people if you can. Our lobbyist in the last go round was fantastic. Would love you. I know he was supposed to be on this episode. However, cough cough hack hack. I went through that recently too. Got a hold of him, and that flu right now is bad, so he couldn't join us. But
Yep.
also our bill sponsor. I mean, I can't say enough. I didn't really get to know the individual that well. If you could talk about our sponsor, some of the legislators we've worked with, and our lobbyists, because they were great this go round.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So our lobbyist is David Gonzalez with Gonzalez Associates up in the Sacramento area. He was phenomenal for us. He has a bit of a niche within the medical lobbyist community, if you will. So he represents a few different groups, but he's been instrumental to us getting into contact with other medical groups and other workforces and those types of things in order to try to help us build that network and really champion our mission of we're here for patient protection. The biggest champion we really found was at the time Assembly member Dr. Weber, which is now she's moved over to the Senate side, and she is Senator Dr. Weber Pearson. A little bit of a change there, but that's all within the last year. So important to know that that is the same person, but she is absolutely our champion at this point. She pushed so hard and fought so hard, all in the name of patient protection. Being a doctor, a medical doctor herself, she fully understood and was able to do so much for us to push the needle in our favor.
And I really can't say enough. I mean, over the years, I've been around a tick or two. I got a couple grays on this chin. I've seen a lot of legislators, a lot of lobbyists come and go. These individuals really seem to take it to heart and make a difference. They
Right,
really did. And having a physician who understands patient care, being a profound voice for our cause, it doesn't get much better than that because you put MD by your name, DO,
right,
doctor, people are going to listen a little bit better, even in the political realm.
right.
And that gave us a little more leverage. And I can't say thank you enough to her and her staff. It was so wonderful to actually, after nearly 30 years of being an athletic trainer, to get a win. I
Right.
mean, I hate to say it, I hate to be greedy, but God, it was fantastic when I saw that
Right.
email that we got to win.
Right.
I wanted to high five Nick. I want to go all the way back to Mike West and high five Mike West from way back when because of all the stuff we've gone through over the years. I was so excited for you guys as an entire committee and staff and the board of the CATA. And I mean, as a longtime CATA member, I just had a big old smile on my face. Elevate your knowledge, ignite your curiosity, and compete with the best minds at events hosted by the American Academic Competition Institute. AACI's sports medicine competitions feature practical exercises, challenging quizzes, specialty tests, and keynote speakers that foster knowledge and social engagement in healthcare and sports medicine. Go to aacitest.org for more information on upcoming regional and national competitions. Sign up for the ultimate intellectual showdown. So,
And I think that's a really important point. This was not a short-term win. This has been building for so long. And everybody who has put in some effort into this has put down one more brick in the road for us. And we've just kept building and building and building. Nick and Kai were able to pull us across the finish line with the help of Dr. Weber Pearson. It has been a long, long fight, and it is not by any means over. And we're going to keep going on it. But it's important to acknowledge, like you said, the Mike West, the Kai Kugler, the Jason Bennett's, the Mike Chisars, the everybody who's all here who's done so much work for us.
there have been so many over the years that have made such a big difference. And like you said, it was brick by brick over. This is my 28th, 29th year as an AT. I forget.
Right?
It all kind of blends. But
It's your first one. You're still young. Come on,
yeah,
man.
hey, there we go. There we go. I feel 21 in my head, but yeah, that's a different story. At least 21.
Okay. All right.
So
We'll go with that.
yeah, we'll go with that. Watching it evolve, I can think of the times we thought we were going to win and we got vetoed.
Right?
And I hate to say it, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. Here comes the veto. Here it comes
Right?
again. This will be the
Yep.
fifth or sixth time, whatever it is. And when we just got that win, it felt so good because it's a step in the direction that we need to go.
We broke the, I don't know if it's the ceiling you want to call it, but we crossed that line. We did it. We're
We
not
broke open
trying.
the door.
Oh, there you go. We got our
Here
foot
we
in the
come,
door.
baby.
There it
We
is.
broke open the door.
Yep. And so y'all made the mistake of letting us in. Now we're in. So,
Well, I
um,
won't say that, but
yeah, yeah, no,
but maybe something similar. That's for darn
no,
sure.
something along those lines, right?
Along
No,
those
but
lines.
yeah, in all seriousness, like that was such a huge weight off of so many shoulders that we were able to do that, and we were able to say, look, we won. It was a small win, but it's a win. Now let's keep building from it.
Couldn't agree with you more. And that's going to be the key for our future is building upon it. And you've talked about little things that we're looking towards and things and ideas that are going to help. But really, let's be honest, it doesn't come down to those of us that are on the board. It doesn't come down to those of us who work on committees. It doesn't come down to you as the committee chair. You're just the focal point. You're the person that
Right.
goes to your admin. Well, got to take a day off. Got to go up to a meeting in Sacramento. Is that okay?
Right.
We need the help. And that help is going to
Totally.
come from anybody that has next to their name AT. And how can you make that resonate with those of us in the profession that need to get involved?
It can be so simple as just calling your local representative, and there's so many different ways that you can find them online or anywhere, quite really. The California website has simple maps for you to be able to find who your specific representative is, because unfortunately, our map of CATA region representation does not match any of the state maps for elected officials, right? So you kind of have to do a little bit of digging in there, but reach out to them. It could be a simple phone call. Hey, I just wanted to show you and let you know this is going on. We're doing this. We got this really big event going on for our high school or our college or whatever it may be. The the nuance here is you can do that as an individual and as an individual AT. What we kind of want to be cautious with is I am the CATA and I want you to do this. Leave those kinds of conversations for us to have, um, because they're a little bit different focus. What we want you all to do, as far as just being members or public individuals, right, is be aware. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you're concerned about something, even if it is you're concerned that my AED isn't close enough, how can we make that better? Let's find a solution.
And that's a great point. With the law that passed last year, the AED has to be within at specific locations within X amount of minutes of being able to be on site for an event to protect that young individual. And
3 minutes.
yeah, yep, it is extremely important. Otherwise, it's against the law. And you look at the oh geez, the fun one from a year and a half ago, the heat index, which flipped over to wet bulb index, which
Right.
everybody didn't quite understand, even me at first.
Mhm.
And now people don't realize it. It's about to take effect at all schools, not
Yep.
just high schools. It is going to take effect at elementaries and junior high soon as well.
Right.
So it's important to note that if you see an issue, hey, it is our responsibility to decrease the risk of injury and risk of death to our patients by using our voice.
Right. Speak up. Yeah, absolutely. Don't be on the sideline. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges for most athletic trainers is we don't want to do that. We want to be in the background, working our head down, just getting the job done. But if we don't speak up, we don't know and we can't help.
Yeah, who are we going to let speak up for us? The football coach?
Not on my watch.
No way, not me. I mean, I love my guy, but yeah, I'm going to be a little bit louder than that. That's just who I am, though.
Yep.
Uh, yep. And that's why I love what I do. I take care of my kids, my
And
young adults. We take care of.
there you
Yeah.
go. And the other way that we also can have you guys involved is when we call to action, when we do our letter writing, when we do the PR work and we say, "Hey, we want to do some posts or highlight something." Give us the information to do that so that we can do it. So it's kind of the squeaky wheel gets what they want. So if we're constantly there, we're showing what we're doing and everything, the more we can do that, the better off we're going to be.
Which, as you said earlier, is so against how we usually are. We're in the background hiding, taking care of whoever needs to be taken care of, and getting them back out to the game, back out to the performance, back out to the whatever it is they do, back to their job. And, you know, we give ourselves a pat on our back and we go back to work.
Yep.
But yeah, we need to step into the limelight right now as needed to really help our profession.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did have one question for you about that.
Yeah, what do you
So,
got?
and it goes back to what you were discussing about the maps not lining up for the region. So,
Uh-huh.
those of you that don't know, we've got a few regions in the state. We divide up. We have some reps that oversee those regions, and we communicate with our colleagues in that area. And I had a question pop into my mind. With that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
I might have a different representative at my house versus where I work. So I would presume in that case, where I vote is probably more important to the individual that I'm going to be talking to. But it's just as important to let them know, hey, I'm taking care of 600, 700 athletes where I work. So I might want to double dip and talk to two, not one person. Is that correct?
Absolutely. There's no reason not to. Couldn't think of a reason why you would pick one over the other. Contact them both. The more it relates to them, the more they see, oh, this is an issue in my area, the more they're going to listen. Absolutely. And also remember, you have two houses. You have your state assembly and your state senate. So you have potentially four people there if you have different work, different home assembly and senate, and work assembly senate. So there's four people right there.
Excellent point. That's true. We got two houses. For those of you who don't remember history in 10th grade way back when, as I just forgot
Schoolhouse
for 10
rocks,
seconds
baby.
there. Thanks, right in front of my producer who is political side background, so I'm not going to hear the end of that one. With that in mind, I know I've helped a couple times, and don't be surprised every now and then if somebody from the board reaches out because you're like me and you don't mind talking, you don't mind getting in front of people and babbling a little bit. I've been known to talk for a while. If a board member contacts you, no matter who it is,
Right.
and they say, "Can you help?" That means they see something in you and they need a little help. And I had this happen one or two times where they asked me to go meet a representative and help them with something. Now, I know this past year with Dr. Weber, there was a call down as she's based
San
out of San
Diego.
Diego, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
And something as simple as handing out, was it food for the holidays or
So we
something
did
like
the
that,
turkey giveaway for Thanksgiving, and then we do a backpack giveaway towards the beginning of school, end of school time. So, yeah, if you have a representative who's doing some things, volunteer with them. They love it. It gives them an opportunity to meet you, kind of learn about you a little bit, and you help out your community.
which is probably the most important part. We got to help each other no matter what because
That's
we
it.
live around each other and take care of each other no matter what every day.
That's it.
Yeah, amen to that. That's some good information. I like it. I like it. We as athletic trainers are really used to doing what we call the grassroots effect. Starts down low
Yep.
with you and me as athletic trainers and kind of just builds up. With that in mind, in knowing we're not the largest group in the state of California, we're not the smallest.
Right.
It really comes down to getting as many people active as possible. What would you say to somebody thinking, I think I want to get involved? I just had this conversation with a colleague. I'm not
Right.
sure. It's a lot of work. I already work a ton. I'm not sure if I can find the time. What would you say to try and change their mind to getting a little more active to help our future goal?
There are so many different opportunities within the organization. You can take the biggest role you possibly want. You can take the smallest one that you could possibly handle. Really depends on what you want to do. We have, like I said, so many different committees. We have COPE, which is the ethics committee. We have COPA, which is professional advancement. We have the EDI. We have secondary schools. We have a couple of new ones coming on board, which will be announced tonight. So there are so many different things that are happening. If you want to dip your toe in, please come dip your toe in, and we'd love to talk to you.
So, just so you know, it looks like we're in the room. All is
Yep.
good. This won't be released until Monday. And if, we're getting the announcement tonight, which is Saturday, would you mind telling us those new ones and we'll just keep it among ourselves till Monday?
Yeah, no worries. So the new ones are going to be the honors and awards coordinator. So we just created the CATA Hall of Fame, but we also want to capture our history as well because, unfortunately, sometimes, like we just experienced, Kai passes away, and there's a lot of historical knowledge that he has. So we don't want to lose that. So this person will be responsible for that, and we already have the whole system designed and ready to go for implementation on how we're going to select Hall of Fame members and so forth.
And I got to be honest, I got to butt in right here. I got to give a tip of my hat to you on this one. I know how much work you put into it, Matt. You've
Thank you.
really done a fantastic job getting this set up. It's something that needed to be done. And I realized something like this needed to be done about a year and a half ago when I started talking to an intern and I turned and looked at her and started, Julie Max once said to me, and she looked at me, "Who's Julie Max?"
Oh
And
no.
my heart dropped.
Right.
Um, or Big Bill. I said Big Bill said something once at my first CATA conference or FWATA conference, and they looked at me, "Who's Bill Chambers? What are you talking about?" And my
Guy with
jaw
the
hit the ground.
loudest pants in the room.
Oh God, amen to that. But these are things people need to know where we came from. You need to know history.
Absolutely.
You need to know
Yep.
who we are, where we came from, to make sure we go in the right direction. So I want to say thank you for all that hard work. You did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see everything get announced.
Yeah, it'll be great. It was honestly not my idea. It was brought to me by Tom Abdenauer and Chris Ludwig and Mike Chizar and Scott Saylor and Andy Paulin and
Awesome.
those
Some premier
all
names right there,
right,
so
right.
just some great
Fran
people.
Babbage was in there,
Oh,
and I think
yeah.
there was a couple others that I'm forgetting. So I apologize for those who I've forgotten, but they brought this idea to me, and I said, "Well, yeah, this makes sense. Let's do this." And I just worked and developed it out to the next level.
Great job, buddy. Great
Thanks.
job. Now, what other committees we got coming up then?
We're looking at also a college and universities committee. So that's the other new one that we got coming up.
That makes
And
sense. We got the secondary school committee, which God bless you, Kristen. Get on it. I'm excited to have my colleague running that because as a athletic trainer, at the high school level, I love that position.
yeah. So those are the two new ones. Along with those people are going to need committees. So if you don't want to be in charge of it, jump on board as a committee member. All of our committees could use committee members. So there's PR, there's GAC or governmental affairs with me, and all different types of things. So what I would say is if you are interested in something, it's going to be there's going to be a committee for you to work.
Let's take a little rundown. We got EDI, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. God bless Kai. Keep that one rolling. Governmental Affairs, which my boy right here is in charge of, Matt. Secondary School Committee. Revenue Committee. God, I remember creating that about 15 years ago. Oh, geez. Annual Symposium.
Pause for you there. The revenue committee is going to go under symposium. So,
Oh, very
yeah,
nice. Very
yeah,
nice. Annual Symposium Committee, which, oh, that's fantastic. That's a good one to be
yeah,
part of because you get to
that's a
pick the
great one.
party. I mean, you get to pick the event and
Yeah, yeah, you get to help with the speakers.
exactly. That's it. That's it. PR, public relations. God bless Bree. Keep it rolling. You're doing a great job. Professional ethics and practice advancement. Those are just the ones posted on the website now.
And we'll get some more coming, like I just said. So there you go.
And let me tell you, you can be, as a person that was in charge of a committee several years back, you can be as involved as you are allowed to be with your life.
Right.
Because God
It's a great
knows
way to put it.
we all work enough.
Yeah.
We don't need more work. So you put in the time and effort you can. And that's why we have committee members. We've got some that can put in 10 hours a week. We got some that can put in 30 minutes.
Right.
Whatever you can give, you're given.
Well, and those are just committees, right? There's also region directors and the executive boards of president, secretary, treasurer.
Let's not go scaring people now, okay?
Well, I'm just giving options, giving options.
But it's good. We need
Yeah.
future leaders. So keep it going. Keep talking, brother.
Those positions every year we will cycle some in and some out. So typically you could be a region director for the region your address is in the NATA. So if you put in your work address and that's region 4 but you live in region 5, it's whatever one you have with the NATA that we would base your representation on. So there is that. Those are great opportunities. I was previously a Region 4 director, which is Santa Barbara, LA, Ventura, and San Luis Obispo counties. So that was my first official role in the CATA.
Can you say those counties again for me, please? I need to make sure I know those.
Here for you, Eli.
I appreciate that.
LA, LA, Ventura, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo counties.
Well, I appreciate that SLO one because my daughter's up there. That gives me another
Yeah,
excuse to go up and host an event or two.
there
But
you go.
I appreciate what you did as the previous Region 4 director. I think you did a fantastic job. And again, I'm just being honest. I don't sugarcoat anything. I like to be as honest as possible. That way we're always on the same page. Love some of the stuff you created. And as the now new Region 4 director, I plan on keeping some of that stuff up because I think it was great. You really brought a lot more people together, and I hope to continue doing half the job you did, or at
Well,
least a
thank you.
quarter of it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Depends on
Don't set that bar too high, I guess,
you
right?
know. There we go. There we go, buddy. But yeah, I mean, we need leaders. We need volunteers. We need people that are going to push our profession to the future. And like you said, president, secretary, treasurer, region one, two, three, four, five, six. All of these positions are important. And the committees, God, without them, stuff just doesn't get done.
Doesn't go anywhere.
No. And right now, our current board is, I know, working their butt off to push us towards the future. I know you're going to do the same way with the GAC committee. And to be honest, I'm excited. I haven't been this excited in years, and that's why I got back in the game. I want to help. I want to be part, and I want to see us get that elusive either registration, knock on wood, or licensure. God, I'd love that before I retire. I'd love to be licensed.
It's going to take a lot of work. So I by no means am going to put any sort of, oh, by the end of my first tenure, I'm going to do it, darn it, because we also need to be realistic about it.
Yep, that's
And I already
that.
forgot it.
But that's the key. We got to be realistic. It's
Yeah.
not a one-shot wonder. It's not instant. It's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. We're going to have to build to it, just like we have, like you said earlier, brick by brick. And it started 30, 40 years ago, the first time we got vetoed. And, geez, probably 50 actually. It was way before me.
It's
Um,
scary how much that happens, huh? You're like, oh,
it,
20 years ago, that was like 1990. You're like, oh, wait, no, that was
that
after
was 98.
2000.
That wasn't even 98. Oh my God, I feel older now. That's right.
You're right.
Oh, geez. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
you're
I'm good.
welcome. I'm here for you.
Yep. Oh,
But I
geez.
think the other thing you mentioned was is you're excited about it, and I think that's one of the unique things about volunteering in all these positions is it really can help to reignite that passion and that fire within again. If you're just kind of, man, I just don't know anymore. Try volunteering a little bit. It really did give me a different perspective on the entire profession and what it really takes to get what we want done. And I think it's important to experience it.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, as an old timer, I put in 10 years on the board, just as a committee chair, helping out where I could. When I knew I was done, I needed to be done. And that was about 12 years ago. To see what happened the last couple of years, jumping on board with this podcast was a big one. So shout out to my producer, my brother. It just reignited the love of the profession.
Right.
And if you've got that love, you can be part of this. You can be part of making a difference in what we all call the Wild Wild West, because you don't know what's going to happen any given day at any given time with any game when you walk up and say, hey, for that medical timeout, which we all should be using right before a game, shaking hands, saying, hey, I'm Eli
Absolutely.
Hallak. I'm the director of healthcare and sports medicine here at St. Francis High School. I'm the head athletic trainer. Who are you?
Yep.
How can I help you? Here's our entrances. Here's that. Here's this. Here's that. And they go, oh, well, I got my personal trainer's license and I know how to take.
Perfect. You
Oof.
can stay over there.
Yep. Please stay
Yeah.
off the field. Don't
Yep.
don't pass go. Don't collect $200. I'd prefer you sit in the stands actually, but that's just me. I'm a little opinionated. But yeah, get involved because who knows in the next 5 to 10 years what's going to happen.
You could be the missing piece.
Yep.
You never know. You could make that one connection that helps us with that one thing that starts the dominoes.
And that's what we need. We need those of us that are willing to take the chance to step up to talk, shake that hand, make that connection. And who knows, maybe it's at some point Governor Weber signing the document saying, congratulations, athletic trainers, you are now licensed.
You never know what'll happen.
You never know. You never know. What, as the governmental affairs chair, if you had this position for the next 5 to 10 years, and God forbid you had to do it that long, but looking forward,
I think my first task then would be to find a predecessor so that I didn't have to do it for 10 years.
amen to that. You might want to find a predecessor in 6 months, some years.
There
But
you go.
what do you think wins or success for athletic trainers in California looks like?
That is a tough question. It's almost kind of like the summary that I got for you. We are we are in. We have our foot in the door. Now we need to keep that momentum going with getting ourselves in statute in such a variety of ways. There's not even enough time to list them all. I think the biggest wins are going to be when people start coming to us to ask for what do you need? What do we do to help XYZ situation? That shows us that we are the respected professionals in a specific area that they may have some interest in. and they want our opinion. That shows the value of the profession of athletic training, and it can go a long, long way.
And I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's an excellent, phenomenal answer. That's fantastic. And I think it comes down to all of us as athletic trainers doing what we do every day, educating people.
There's so much misinformation out there. The more we can educate, I know we don't want to be out in front of the microphone, but the more we can do that, the better off we'll be.
I think one of my favorite days, and it took good 20 years, not too long after COVID, I had someone come into our school that was looking at coming to St. Francis High School and ask me point blank. So I understand you guys have a pretty good athletic program, which we do, but I want to know about the healthcare side. Do you have an athletic trainer on staff? And my jaw hit the ground. First off, that they asked and they knew what an athletic trainer was. But the fact that it was me they were asking and I got to answer, oh my God, I did a little happy dance in my mind. To be able to say yes for the first time in my career to that question, that's something we should all strive for, to make sure those parents coming in want to make sure there is somebody to protect and care for their child
Yeah,
at the high school level, college level. Well, let's face it, even at the professional level, you're somebody's kid.
you are. You that's where you always start, right? So the more we can get those victories and show that we are there, that'll be a cool day.
Man, I love it, Matt. Buddy, this was fun. I love it. We're going to have to do this again for real and really sit down, get a panel next year, and have people come in and watch. And well, let's be honest, if we're in the room together, they might poke a little fun at us. But I think
That's
it
the
would be
point. I
great to
love
do
it.
this again. This
I think
this
it'd
was
be
a
great. I
blast.
appreciate it. It's been a blast.
I appreciate you and everything you've done over the last few years. I know I've got some big shoes to fill, and I'm going to do the best I can. But we appreciate you, the direction you're taking us as a governmental affairs chair, in conjunction with everybody before you, everybody before me, everybody before Kai, God bless him, Christina, Bree, all of us. Thank you for doing what you do. Keep up the good work. And buddy, thank you for being on Wrap It Up Sports Medicine and More today. I truly appreciate you and this episode. Hopefully, people get excited about our profession. Let's do this.
Let's do it. I appreciate you, Eli. Thanks for having me.
You bet, buddy. And you have a great day. Have fun this weekend. Have a couple for me tonight, please, 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 please. At some point, I'll be able to have a few again. So
You got it.
have a great weekend.
You
Bye
too,
bye.
Eli. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Want to make sure you hear every episode? Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our podcast. Don't forget to share our podcast with your colleagues, family, and friends. Your support will help more people find and enjoy our content. Wrap It Up Sports Medicine and More is directed by Eli Hallak. It is produced by Gabriel Hallak. Our theme music is by Coma Studios via Pixabay. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the contributors. Want to know more about us? Visit us at wrapituppodcast.com. That's with one P, wrapituppodcast.com. Wrap It Up Sports Medicine and More is a production of Hallak Consulting, LLC.